Hello there. It's Tuesday afternoon and it's gone 6 o'clock. I'm up in the forest. I'm going to make ground for a camp. He's been here for a few hours, but I'm walking up in the pitch black because I've had the kids to look after today. I made an appointment with one of them, so I couldn't get away. So I'm just on the way up to the camp now. It's pitch black. I'll come back in a bit. I don't be way around these paths anyway, so I don't really need the torch. The torch is handy just for the filming. Hello there. Right, I'm up at the pitch. Graham set up a two-man Nordis tent over there. He's just doing his dinner. Look at the cold. I've only been here like half an hour and the inside of the tarp's frosted over already. So I'm using one walking pole tonight because I was carrying my tripod up and I thought I'd try a cave. So I've done a cave tonight. I've got the two corners of the tarp pegged down at the front. The inside of the tarp is actually tucked under. Look where that silver flask is, tucked under. And just two pegs along the back. And a couple of loops around the walking pole. And two guy lines to keep everything tight. And that's the pitch. I've got the Sea to Summit X-Therm winter mat. That's the 7.6 R-rated one. My Rab 1100 sleeping bag. The MLD Bivy, and that's just my dry bag up there, the yellow one. That's got me thermals in it. That'll be my pillow. So that's the setup. It's icy already. The underside of the tarp, look, is look at the ice down there already. Look, it's absolutely Baltic tonight. Nothing fancy on the food front tonight. I've got a fire pot Tuscan stew. He's got loads of mushrooms in there. It really looks nice. I bought the X-Boil, a couple of little bottles of fuel. Obviously, I've got plenty of water ready for the brews. I've got a brew. I'm waiting for that to get ready. Them tuck unders are quite handy for the kit, aren't they? I've got the rucksack on that one over there. Look at the frost forming under there, look. I best get the sleeping bag done up because it's going to get damp. Hello there, I'm in the bivvy. This cave configuration is giving me loads of protection for the head end, but there's no, you can't move without getting wet on the ice, so it's not a good configuration for space. It's probably more of a summer configuration for when the winds come in one direction. But I only wanted to bring one pole tonight, so it's, because I was walking up in the dark, I wanted the light on my tripod in one hand and one pole in the other hand. So that's why I've used this configuration, but it's working. I've got me all the kit by the side of me. I've just made another brew there. There's a surprise. These flaps that come under are quite handy for the kit. It's absolutely Baltic. It's well below freezing. There's a good ice forming on everything, but I just love the tarp and bivy. What can I say? I'm in this Rab 1100 Ascent. This down jacket will be coming off in a minute. I'm not going to bother putting my thermal top on because I've got a t-shirt on under this lumberjack shirt. This is a really thick cotton shirt, so I'll take the down jacket off, lie it on top of the sleeping bag in the bivy. One of my viewers suggested that on one of my last couple of camps. Take the down jacket off and lie it across the top of the sleeping bag. I'd never thought of that. I mean, I love the comments because you get that many tips. The one tip I must try is taking my sleeping bag out of the stuff sack and just sticking it in the bottom of the rucksack. Obviously in a liner. But when you're using a rucksack, a sleeping bag like this one, it's that blooming big. It's massive. It fills up more than half the rucksack if it's not in a stuff sack. So I just can't see how you can compress it. Somebody's now told me your lid of your rucksack is like a compression lid, and I suppose it is, but I'm just going to have to persevere, I think. I'm using a stuff sack this camp. The next camp I'm going to try without. I'm gonna push the boat out and really give it a go, because it does make more sense. I don't know whether it makes any sense for the Scotland camp, but I'll give it a go. Well, I've had an evening. I've been watching some Paramount. I've been watching some things I've downloaded. I've got to keep quite quiet because Graham's dogs doesn't like the noise. It keeps barking, so it'll wake Graham up, because Graham's been asleep for a while. So I've had my last brew. I'm all set for the morning, so I'm going to get my head down. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. Just woke up about 6:45. Had a great sleep, but it's a disaster with the moisture. It's absolutely sodden under here. It's very hard. My torch is failing as well. Absolute, look, it's like it's raining in here. I woke up for a wee in the night, and I decided to sleep with the hood of the bivy flat and the sleeping bag on it, and I was a bit near to the slope of the tarp, so the hood of the sleeping bag's wet. So I fixed that in the night. I got under the hood, so the top end's perfectly dry, but when you turn it round, I'll show you now. There's the top of the bivy, look. All this moisture, all that moisture on the top of the bivy has prevented the inside of the bivy breathing properly. So from the edge, from here, the edge of the tarp down to the bottom, is actually a good layer of moisture inside the bivy. When you look on the MLD website, Ron does say it's a bivy at the end of the day, and you can get moisture if you haven't got enough ventilation, but you can only ventilate the top. So it goes to show the only bivy that can handle the moisture like that is the army bivvies, the hooped army bivy, 3-layer membrane fabric, and the British Army bivy. They don't actually say they're Gore-Tex, but they are 3-layer breathable membranes, so they are a Gore-Tex equivalent. If they're not Gore-Tex, they don't get this condensation inside. They breathe regardless. I've yet to have condensation in a British Army bivy. So this expensive MLD bivy is light, it's fantastic, it does everything, it's so spacious, it's unbelievable. You can fit the winter mat in it and everything, but you can't have it outside of the tarp because you're going to get wet. So if you're going to use a bivy, you're perfectly safe for one night. You just live with this. You pitch it how you want, and then you just live with the moisture and that. But you've got to bear in mind, you can get condensation far more with a bivy on your sleeping bag than you can with a tent. I mean, there's nothing that wouldn't dry out here to prevent another night. You know, I could get away with one more night, but if it was worse than this, I'd be in trouble if it was a 2-night camp. But this was an horrendous choice of pitch. This was. I'm far too near. It's absolutely soaking me now. I've woke up. But I'm going to have my breakfast anyway. Chill out. Got my porridge, obviously. We've got the brew on. And we'll catch you in a bit. Well, I've got my porridge done. It's just rehydrating. Let's have a look. I've got my first brew, a nice tea. And I'm just thinking about this sleeping bag. You couldn't actually use it for a second night. It's just too wet. But I made a mistake before. The condensation is caused because the top of the bivy is covered in ice, so it couldn't breathe. It couldn't breathe. So we'll have to test it again when there's no ice. I can't say it's failed because the top of the bivy is actually frozen solid, so no moisture was ever going to get out. Well, I've only just finished one brew, and would you believe it's time for a second brew. I've had a tea, and now I'm going to have a nice strong coffee. You've got to have a few brews in the morning, haven't you? Anyway, let's have a look at this. Well, you can't see anything. I can actually see a fair bit of a view now, but the phone's not picking it up. We'll have to have a look later. I'll put the torch up. Yeah. It's lovely. I mean, look, I've got a hell of a view there, haven't I, out of that? Look at that. Obviously you can't see anything yet, but as it gets light, you'll have a nice view. Right, there's a lovely inversion going on over there in the valley, and if you can't see it, I'm going to use the night vision goggles now. You're going to be amazed at this. Watch this now. Look at that. An inversion with the night vision goggles. Look at that. Without, with, without, with. And they're not expensive either for the quality you get. Look at that. That's fabulous, isn't it? Wahey! Wahey! There's the tents there, up down there, the tent and tarp, and there's Graham. So if we have a look through the goggles, look at that. And then there's the tents down there. Look at the quality of that. That's amazing, isn't it? And there's without. A lot of forestry vehicles moving around up there already. Look, big wagons. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? What a camp. Let's have a look through the night vision again. There's the truck up there, look. Forestry truck disappearing. There's another one doing some business up there. I was hoping to see some deer, but I think Graham's dog will have got shot of the deer because they sense things, don't they? Plus we've been chatting loudly. So it's Wednesday morning now, but I was actually out last Saturday for a camp. And because I'm in training for my Scotland walk, I actually got me 15 kilos or thereabouts on my back, and I did 7 or 8 miles round the forest. I'll put the footage up actually, but I was going through really boggy ground and the tussocks were up to my knee. Twice I actually ended up in the water to my knee. Then I fell over and bent one of my walking poles. They're not black diamond like they thought they were, that I was using, that the walking poles I had off my uncle. They're actually Black's, the Black's the outdoor shop, Black's expedition poles. So I don't think they're built like a lecky pole, but anyway, I fell over and I bent one of those. I've managed to straighten it so the kids will still be able to use it. But I bent one of those. I come to the area we're at now via a route that's so hard work. I was nigh on exhausted by the time I got to the corner over there where I pitch. And then I turned round, and in these trees here, there was men moving about, so there was obviously people camping. So I just thought, oh, there's very limited opportunity up this end to camp. So I thought, well, I've had a good walk, I've had my exercise, I've stretched my legs, I've enjoyed myself, and I just popped off home last Saturday. I'll put that footage up, what I took, so you can see what I was walking across. It's quite interesting, but I'm never that desperate for a camp that I have to camp by other people. I like my solitude and I like peace and quiet. Obviously, unless I come with one of my friends like Graham or Sean and that. But I'll put the footage up and you can have a look. Leave no traces always. Just a damp flat spot there. And there's where Graham was over there as well. There's the boisterous Darwin there. We'll have a look at the views on the way out. Look at that sky, isn't that beautiful? We'll have a quick look at the view before we set off up towards the Simon side. It's lovely, isn't it? You can hear all the logging going on up there. Look at the smoke. They're going mad this year with the trees. Mad. It's lovely, isn't it? Well, I've still got my head torch on, I've just noticed. Nearly back at the car now. It's been a great camp. It's not very often you'll catch me walking in the dark for a camp, but I'm certainly glad I did, because I've had a smashing little camp. We had a good chat last night. We managed to stand outside for a bit, freezing cold. Had a nice look at the views this morning. So if you have liked it, please leave a comment and always subscribe. Press the like button. And we'll see you on the next bivvy camp. See ya. Hello there. It's Saturday afternoon. It's getting quite late actually. It's coming up to 3 o'clock. I've come up to the forest, have a wander around, see some new areas, see what's been cut down. So basically I'm just having a wander and I'll probably end up pitching wherever. Just wherever I can find. It's a nice pleasant walk. Been an awful lot of forestry traffic and there's so many new areas being cut down as well. I know it's a working forest and all that, but I just don't put the same care into it as what we did in the old days, because all the trees that have been cut down, they're like meticulously spaced out. You know, like the bits where you can walk through. But all the new bits you come to, the trees are literally on top of each other, literally like a hedge. Now, some people say the strongest tree wins and all that, but they still haven't been spaced out. I don't care what you say. There's just no care like in the old days. Obviously it's very labour intensive and you probably had the manpower back then, whereas now they probably just scatter them in seeds for all I know. But they certainly don't plant them in nice rows. Well, it is what it is, but in many ways it'll never be the same as the original trees. It's just too untidy. It's lovely to be amongst the trees in the forest. There's no chance of seeing anybody on these bits. It's just so remote. I'm just picking my way across the landscape. I don't know where I've been on this one, but I've come from right over there in the distance and I'm just walking on all this stuff. I'm wet up to the knees. I've bent a walking pole. So, see, the end's come off. It's just a complete bog. I'm hoping to pick up one of the known paths. I think I've learned a lesson today. Stick to the known paths and just deviate a little bit. Well, I'm heading for a familiar spot now. This is the sort of terrain I'm walking on. It's mad. I've done 7 miles in a big circuit today. And it's not been easy because none of it's been on a track, really. Small bit of it, but not much.